Urgent Cleveland Browns fans. Do not miss this. What just happened? You won't believe this one. But before we reveal the big news, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because here, we bring you daily videos with the latest Cleveland Browns updates. And to not miss anything, activate the notifications. Alright, Browns fans, today we're diving deep into a story that's been making waves around Berea and across the NFL community. It's about something that might seem simple on the surface but, in reality, is one of the most complex puzzles a coaching staff can face when trying to build a winning roster. We're talking about the Cleveland Browns and their ongoing quarterback situation. Yes, it's a topic that has become a bit of a saga in recent times, especially with the new season approaching and questions mounting about who will actually lead this team into battle come week 1. But what's really happening behind the scenes? What's Coach Kevin Stefanski's plan? And what does all this say about the future of the Browns' signal calling? Let's start at the core of the issue. The Browns, as you all know, have been through a bit of a quarterback carousel lately. It's almost become a tradition in Cleveland, bring in a lot of talent, shuffle through different options, and hope that one of them finally clicks. This season is no different. Cleveland has a pretty interesting mix of quarterbacks on their roster this year, and it's not just about having guys to throw passes, it's about finding the right guy, the one who can lead this team to consistent wins, who can handle the pressure of the NFL, and who can perform when it counts the most. Now, the veteran presence is strong, with Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett both in the mix. Flacco, a seasoned veteran with decades of NFL experience, is known for his leadership and poise, especially in clutch moments. He's the kind of guy who can step in and stabilize a situation, and Cleveland brought him in for that reason, plus his veteran presence in the quarterback room. Kenny Pickett, on the other hand, is a young, promising talent. A former first-round pick, he's got plenty of upside, and the Browns see potential in him as part of their long-term plans. The interesting thing here is that Cleveland traded for Pickett, which shows they're serious about investing in his development, but at the same time, they're not rushing to crown him the starter just yet. Adding to this mix are rookies Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders. Gabriel, a talented quarterback who has shown flashes of brilliance in college, and Sanders, another young gun with a lot of raw talent. These two are here primarily to compete, to earn their spot on the roster. But let's be real, rookies often face an uphill battle. They're fighting to prove they belong, to show they can handle the NFL's speed, complexity, and physicality. For them, the goal right now isn't necessarily to start in week 1, but to secure a spot on the roster, to impress the coaching staff, and to learn the Browns system as quickly as possible. So, how does Cleveland's coaching staff, led by Stefanski, plan to evaluate all these quarterbacks? That's the big question. The truth is, it's not easy. When you look at the roster and the number of quarterbacks, you realize that trying to get enough reps for everyone during practice is practically impossible. There's just not enough time in a typical practice day to give each quarterback the amount of work needed to make a clear, informed judgment. And that's exactly what Stefanski has been emphasizing, finding a way to balance development, evaluation, and preparation, all while avoiding overexposing anyone or rushing decisions. Stefanski has been quite transparent in recent interviews, stressing that the team's main focus is to give each quarterback enough reps to learn the system, develop their skills, and be evaluated properly. But here's the catch, how do you do that with 4 quarterbacks competing for a limited number of roster spots? It's a dilemma. He's made it clear that they won't just divide the reps equally, like 25% for each guy, because that's not realistic given the time constraints and the need to prepare for actual game situations. Instead, the coaching staff is trying to be strategic. They want to give each quarterback enough opportunities to showcase their skills without overloading them, all while trying to read between the lines about who might be the best fit for week 1. It's a delicate balancing act. For Stefanski, it's about making sure they're not just evaluating talent in a vacuum but also assessing how each quarterback handles the pressure, the playbook, and the game day environment. Now, let's talk about the bigger picture. Cleveland's roster, as it stands, is quite intriguing. The team has invested heavily in the quarterback position over the past few seasons, making bold moves to find their franchise guy. But as of now, there's no clear-cut starter. That's why this training camp and preseason are so critical. The Browns need to identify who can lead them to victories, who can be reliable in tough situations, and who can handle the spotlight when it shines brightest. The team's roster construction is also a factor here. When it comes to game day, only 2 quarterbacks will be active, with one serving as the emergency third, and perhaps another ending up on the practice squad. That means decisions made now will have a direct impact on the team's success early in the season. The coaching staff has to consider not just talent but also experience, leadership, durability, and how well each quarterback fits into the overall team dynamic. This brings us to an interesting point about the draft picks. Cleveland's selection of Gabriel in the 3rd round and Sanders in the 5th round shows a clear strategic approach, building for the future while also trying to find immediate contributors. But the focus on these younger players shouldn't overshadow the importance of winning now. The Browns are in a position where they want to be competitive, and that's why the emphasis on development has to be balanced with the need to put a winning product on the field from week 1. And that's what makes this quarterback competition so fascinating. It's not just about who throws the best pass in practice, it's also about resilience, decision-making, leadership, and how well each player can execute under pressure. Stefanski and his staff are watching every detail, how they handle the pressure, their command of the offense, their ability to adapt to different game situations. It's a lot to process, and honestly, it's a challenge to do justice to everyone in such a limited timeframe. Now, stepping back a bit, it's worth remembering that Cleveland has a rich football history, filled with ups and downs. The franchise has seen incredible highs, like their legendary runs and playoff appearances, but also some dark valleys where instability at quarterback was a major factor. That's why the current situation feels so critical. The Browns are, once again, trying to find that franchise quarterback, the guy who can bring stability and success for years to come. And even though the current roster isn't set in stone, there's a real sense of optimism that they're on the right track. Looking at the season ahead, the expectations are high. Fans are eager for a winning record, a playoff push, and maybe even a deep run. But to get there, Cleveland needs to solve the quarterback puzzle. They need someone who can elevate the offense, who can make plays when it matters most, and who can lead the team with confidence. It's a tall order, especially with the competition so fierce and the clock ticking toward week 1. And let's not forget, Deshaun Watson's situation is still a factor here. His status as the starting quarterback, at least in theory, adds an extra layer of complexity. If Watson is healthy and ready to go, he's the presumed leader of this offense. But if he's sidelined or not at full strength, then the Browns' depth at quarterback becomes even more critical. The team needs to be prepared for all scenarios, which is why the ongoing evaluation process is so vital. In conclusion, Browns fans, what's happening right now is a testament to how difficult building a successful NFL team really is. It's a blend of talent evaluation, strategic planning, and a bit of patience. Stefanski and his staff are trying to find the best combination of players who can bring this team back to playoff prominence. The quarterback competition is just one piece of that puzzle, but it's arguably the most important. The next few weeks will be telling, as we see who steps up, who makes the most of their opportunities, and who ultimately earns that coveted starting role. So, as we watch these developments unfold, keep in mind that Cleveland is investing in its future, even if the path isn't perfectly clear right now. The Browns are a proud franchise with a passionate fan base, and they deserve a winning team. We all want to see that quarterback emerge, the one who can finally bring stability and success to Cleveland. This season promises to be exciting, unpredictable, and full of surprises, so stay tuned because we'll be here every step of the way, bringing you all the latest updates and insights. And now, Cleveland Browns fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this quarterback situation? Do you think Stefanski and the coaching staff are making the right calls? Who do you think has the best shot to be Week 1 starter? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Browns as well. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for all the latest Cleveland Browns news. This team is on the rise, and with your support, we'll keep pushing forward together.